Hi everyone, and welcome to my bedroom and to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul recently and some that aren't as recent but that I have acquired and still need to read, so I thought I would just include them. It's a combination of books that my dad is letting me borrow too, but I still think that's part of a book haul if you ask me personally, but I don't know. I guess that's up to you. So I'm gonna get started and show you what I've gotten. It's a combination of a Powell's order. Powell's is a bookstore that every time I go there, my love for reading is reinvigorated. I always get books from there that, well, this order, I got books that I would typically read, but I always get books that I wouldn't normally read when I go to the store because I'm just that pulled in. They have this wall that's like staff favorites. That wall gives me life, absolute life. I have found exceptional books from that wall. If you've ever been to the Powell City of Books, life-changing. If you have not made it to Portland, Oregon, to the Powell City of Books, put it on your bucket list and get yourself there. If you even like books, if you even think you like books, go there and you will know if you do or not. That place is life-changing. So without further ado, let me show you what I've gotten as of late. A side warning, you're sitting in my window on multiple items stacked, and I'm filming on my phone. So the window's open because it's about 80 degrees, if not more, in the room. So you might hear people walking, neighbors, lawnmower. So let me show you what I've got. Oh, I didn't even tell you where I finished buying them from. Costco, Powell's, Amazon, Thrift Books, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and my dad. Oh, and the University of Washington Tacoma bookstore. The first book, without further ado, I know zero about. Literally, I haven't even read the book. I think it's about LGBTQ coming of age. It is a movie, or I think it is a movie, and I need to read it before I watch it. That's gonna be my goal for this year, is I'm not going to watch a movie that is a book unless I've read the book, which will make me read more. Hey helicopter, I live near a military base, so you're probably hearing the helicopter. So it is Call Me By Your Name. I just realized it's gonna be backwards because I'm filming on my phone. I don't care. Call Me By Your Name. I know nothing about it except I've watched a lot of booktubers. Is that what they call themselves? Booktubers. I don't know. A lot of people on the internet are talking about this, and I want to be part of that. I want to feel included because in quarantine, I don't feel included in anything. So I'm ready. I'm ready to feel included. So Call Me By Your Name. I hope it's life-changing. I'm really excited for this. Let's just say that, okay? So book number 1, Call Me By Your Name. Starting at my Powell's, I picked up The Abortionist by Ricky Solinger, A Woman Against the Law. This I saw when I went to Powell's back in December and I did not pick up. So this book is about Ruth Barnett. She's from Portland, Oregon, where Powell's is located at. So local books, a lot of really awesome local authors at Powell's, and that's what I love about them. They are nationally recognized bookstore, yet they really hold true to trying to bring voice to people from the Pacific Northwest, which is where I'm located. And that means everything. It means something to have a bookstore believe in local authors, and that can be really hard to find. So basically, it's a true story about Ruth Barnett, who was an abortion provider before it even really got talked about in law. And then all of a sudden, all these laws came into place, and it's all about navigating that and why that made abortion unsafe, not the actual practice of abortion itself. You can feel whatever way you want to about abortion, and you can feel whatever way you want to about the world, but I think it's important to read about things that you don't agree with or things that you do agree with. I personally agree in that it's the woman's right to choose. I respect if you don't, but I still urge you to read about things that make you uncomfortable, because that's how we become comfortable. Or not comfortable, but that's how we just learn to have a narrative about things. We don't find bipartisanship because we're not willing to have conversations. And that's that. End of rant. But this book was published in 1996 when I was born. So it's 24 years old. And but it says 25th anniversary. It was written in 1995, so this would make this book 25 years old. I think it was published originally in paperback in 96 though. So what's cool about it, it has its original prelude, preface. It's probably just pronounced preface, but I'm trying to make it sound cool by calling it a preface, which is a different word. And this one says to the 1994 edition. So, it was written approximately 24 to 26 years ago. And it has the preface to that edition, and it also has an updated preface to the 2019 edition, which I think is really cool, and I'm interested to read both prefaces. I'm excited to read the little extra bits, as well as the story itself. So there's that. I'm excited. Another book that I picked up from Powell's is Heart, a History. I'm gonna butcher his name, and I really should have looked it up. I'm gonna just write it on the screens. Dr. Sandeep Jahar. I'm sorry. Sounds good. It's basically about this doctor who wrote the book is a cardiologist. Fitting. He's writing about the heart. And I think it's kind of about weaving together his own experiences with the defining discoveries of the past. He braids tales of breakthroughs, I don't know this word, and sorrow, as well as accounts of his own family's history of heart ailments. The only organ that can move itself. Really up my alley. I love reading nonfiction medical books, but I'm super picky about it because they also have to entertain me, which can be kind of difficult. But I'm really thinking that I like this one, and I'm really excited. I also took a picture of this one back in December when I went to Powell's, didn't pick it up. And then when I heard they're may go out of business, I was like, I took out my phone, looked at all the pictures, and I ordered all the books. This book, I don't know why I purchased it. It's the winner of the Phi Beta Kappa Award in Science. It is called Guns, I'm reading it backwards on my phone. Guns, Germs, and Steel. The Fate of Human Societies. This person says it's a short history of everything about everybody. That does kind of sound interesting. It's kind of a thick book though. I feel like if it's written like a history textbook, it's not gonna go real smoothly for me. I don't know. There's some, as I was about to say, there's some pictures and maps, and there's none in the pages I'm showing you. See, I'm thinking that maybe it'll be a slow read. Oh, it won the Pulitzer Prize. I'm not really in the literacy world. It won some awards. I'm excited that I'll read it eventually, but it's not on the top of my list. But I have it, and I saved Powell's. Just kidding, I didn't. It's still open, but I can't take credit for that. Okay, another book that I got from Powell's was Them by Ben Sasse. This guy is a U.S. senator, so I definitely could have Googled him and gotten a pronunciation of his name, probably in a video recording, but that's where I'm at. He is a Republican senator. Nebraska? I don't know. Nebraska sounds right. But he is a Republican U.S. senator that talks about why we don't have bipartisanship. If you know me, you know that this is not a book I would usually read. But just as I said before, it's important to read books that you may not have thought meant anything to you. The fact that a Republican U.S. senator wrote this, way out of my comfort zone. But I am willing to listen. I am willing to read. I am willing to hear what he has to say because I believe in bipartisanship. I truly do. And I think as of late, that hope is disintegrating before my eyes. And I hope that I'm seeing it from the wrong point of view. I really do. That's the reality. I hope I'm wrong. So I'm going to read this book. I'm going to try and get as much out of it as I can, because I think that listening to the other side, I want to have a conversation. And so I want to read this book. I have not looked him up. I do not know how he's voted on anything. I don't know how he has, I don't know anything about him except that he is a Republican U.S. Senator, maybe from Nebraska. And I want to do that because I want to give this book the benefit of the doubt. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I do not want to go into this with any biases. If they want to have a conversation, you need to listen. And I think this is the start of a conversation, and I'm willing to have it. The next book that I got from Powell's is very different from any of the books before. It's a quote book. It's like, it aligns with the day of the month. I love quote books. I honestly do. I think they're amazing. I buy them as gifts for people. Some people think they're so cheesy, but I don't care. And it's called I Really Needed This Today. And it's by her. I really want to shoot myself in the foot for not looking up pronunciations. But I also just don't want to pronounce it incorrectly. She hosts a TV show. That's her. She is the host of a TV show. I don't have cable. I don't really watch news, talk shows, or anything like that. This is a book of quotes that sometimes you really need. Sometimes they're not, but I try to be mindful, and I think mindfulness, it really helps if I have a quote to focus on and I find how that quote fits into my life or somebody else's life, or it fits into something that like a void I can fill in the world. So I really do like books that are like this. I'm not very good at following every single day because I forget a lot of the time, but maybe if I do it for 21 days, it will become a habit. I doubt it, but I'll give it my best shot. Sometimes it's nice to fall behind because then you get to read multiple days of really nice quotes and you get to have a lot of self-reflection, which can be really hard because I don't self-reflect without somebody prompting me to do so. So I think it's really important to do that and to be open to that and to be open to your own vulnerabilities as a person. So as cheesy as some might think that it is, I think it's valuable to have a conversation about quotes and about sayings and about things that you think might not apply to you, but maybe you can make a change and fill a void in somebody else's life. Maybe it's about somebody that you love that you can take care of a little bit better. Maybe. Just a thought. Okay, that wraps up everything that I bought from Powell's. I will move on to what I got from the University of Washington Tacoma bookstore. Oh my gosh, I actually got one more book from Powell's, which I already lent to my father. I finished reading it. I will wrap that book up in a different video. It made me really happy. It really did. It's called The 3-Year Swim Club. If I figure out how to put an image on the screen, it will be up here. Otherwise, look up The 3-Year Swim Club. That book spoke to me. I love sports nonfictions that just get me. Sports is like, I love an underdog story. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying, so there's that. Okay, moving on to my next group of books from the University of Washington Tacoma bookstore. Got them all off the sale rack. Oh my gosh, The 3-Year Swim Club. Good book. Moving on. All right. First book is called Awakening by Oliver Sacks, from the best-selling author of The Man Who Mistook his wife for a hat. This is a true story, and it's the subject of major feature film. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about this book. I think this is a doctor. I think this is about neurology. Basically, all these people are put into a catatonic state, motionless and speechless, but they are aware of the world around them. He administers a drug, and then it causes them to wake up. I hope this is a true story. That sounds awesome. I hope you know, this isn't, oh my God. I think this is a true story because look at this. This is the actual book and this is the footnote. And usually you find really long footnotes in medical books like such. That keeps going. Look at that. I got a lot of reading in this one. This one I'm definitely going to have to be in the right headspace to get into, but I'll still give it a go. It sounds fun. That sounds crazy. And I'm going to have to figure out what movie this was about. Oh, wow. As well as plays and TV documentaries. Okay. I also purchased from that bookstore at UW-Tacoma 101 Stumbles in the March of History. What if the great mistakes in war, government, industry, and economics were not made? What would the world look like? Basically, this is just 101 times that history could have been drastically different. And I wonder, I don't know if it talks about how that would affect modern life. You see, this lighting is so bad because it's on an iPhone. Maybe it talks about what modern life could look like, or maybe that leaves that up to the reader, which could be interesting. But sometimes I need to be told because I don't know history at all. So sometimes I need to be told, and maybe I'll learn a little bit about history. Sounds fun. Ooh, what if the Vienna Academy of Art took a chance on a hopeful young student named Adolf Hitler? I don't know. That sounds pretty crazy to me. Last but not least that I got from that bookstore is called Dangerous Games by Margaret Macmillan. She's a Canadian historian. It has a lot of Canadian. I read this book already. It's short. It's sweet. It's to the point. I like it. It is 170 pages on the dot. It was great. It was kind of hard to read because once again, I know nothing about history. So I feel like I had to look some stuff up because in order for me to follow, I had to know what she was even talking about. It's good to read books like that. It's good to read books that you want to go look up information to understand better. It's not good if you're reading a book that you're like, I don't care. It's an important book. It talks about how history has been used incorrectly and it has been abused to fit a narrative and how toxic that is for a community. It talks about how we use history to create nationalism when it's like you're using a false narrative. It talks about how literature, especially in schools, is influenced by political and personal agendas that make history incorrect. It teaches you something that's very one-sided and very biased, and it leads to modern day racism, fascism, misogyny, classic things that are still true in our world today, whether we like to believe it or not. And it's just kind of like how we use history to make that happen. And it's really sad. Like one of her books wasn't even published in China because she refused to leave out a piece of it. And that just goes to show like censorship is real, people, and we need to fight it. So this book is my one and only book that I picked up from Costco. It was $9.99. It's called The Tattooist of Auschwitz. So, World War II. It is loosely based on a true story, I believe. Oh, well, it says based on the powerful true story of love and survival. The quote on the back: I tattooed her number on her left hand and she tattooed her number in my heart. I think that's all you need to know. I'm really excited. This book is on audio on Hoopla, Hoopla, which you can put in your public library services, and you can get books for download and books on audio, and I think shows and etc. I might listen to the audio while reading this because I need to get my reading speed up to bat. I don't know, I might not need it. I love a good historical romance, and especially because it's true, and it's probably going to make me cry. It's definitely going to make me cry. I love a good true romance. And with everything that happened during that time in history, I hope I'm not heartbroken, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was, and I'm ready for it because that's what actually happened. People got torn apart, families got torn apart, and we have to recognize that. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be hurt. I think. Now, the 2 books that I got from my dad in exchange for the 3-year swim club, he reads so much, and for that I'm so grateful. So he gave me this one. This one with his handy bookmark in it. It's called A Man Called I should have asked. Basically, I'm pretty sure this is one that a lot of people have read. I've heard good things, not as of late, but you know, when this book gets mentioned, people only have good things to say, and that's what I have to say about it. So I'm really excited. It's about the grumpiest man you'll ever meet. That's cute. I like that. The second book, I am so literally excited for. It is called The Body, A Guide for Occupants. I almost bought this book, but it's like $30-something, and maybe one day I'll buy it. But my dad also told me not to buy it because he owns it, and what's the point? But you know that feeling of satisfaction when you have a book on your bookshelf? Feels so good. That's why I don't do great reading on my Kindle, but I still read on my Kindle. But something about owning a book. It is about how the human body functions, heals, and fails. That's cool. I like that. I'm pretty sure it's written in a very layman terms situation so that people can understand what's going on. And that's something I really greatly appreciate. As a healthcare professional, I think that sometimes information can be very unattainable to individuals, and I don't think that's fair in the slightest way. And when people are willing to sit down, digest it, and write it out for people, nothing more beautiful in the world, and something that I hope that maybe one day I can do. So I'm really excited to read this book. I don't know when I'll read it. I don't know when I'll read any of these books. There's literally so many, but I'll give it my best shot. And now I have an unboxing to do because I ordered some books from Thrift Books, which I found because I was looking for some books, but books are so expensive. I literally think $10 is expensive, so imagine my sticker shocked books. Like that Pals order made me cry, but I wanted to save them, so I did it. So I found Thrift Books by simply Googling used bookstore. And obviously, because of quarantine, bookstores are closed. I love going to a good used bookstore, so I'm really excited. The price is dependent on the condition of the book. So all of these were under $5. I hope that there's a little slip inside so that I actually can tell you how much I purchased them all for. So without further ado, let me open up my books from Thrift Books. I got 3 books. I don't want to say their titles because I might say them wrong. I don't have scissors, hold on. I found some little embroidery scissors that I'm gonna use. Or, that's so stupid. Why don't I rip it open? It's a bag. It's not like I'm gonna return a used book that was under $5. Oh, it's hard to rip. I'm sweating, if you can't tell. We have no fan. Okay. This book. Oh, I'm excited about this one. Ready Player One. Movie was made about it. Movie was pretty bad. Heard the book's better, so. I should have looked up the YouTuber that I watched that recommended this book, but I'll put her name on the screen and her channel down below. I've been binge watching her videos. So she said this book was amazing, so I decided to pick it up. And hold on. There is no slip. Let me grab my iPad. Okay, so I'm breathing heavy because it's so hot. I don't know what's happening anymore. Order confirmation. That should have the price, yeah? Okay, Ready Player One was $4.69, and it's free shipping if you order more than $15, which is incredibly easy. And for some reason, that one shipped separately than the other two. And I thought, it told me like it wasn't gonna arrive until Thursday, but it was in Portland, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Oh. There's a person walking and watching me. Bro, don't look into my bedroom window. Okay. Okay. Oh, and the condition on Ready Player One, hold on. Very good was the condition that it was labeled as. Let's assess. It's very good. It's loved. I mean, it's used. Come on, it's used, but it's very good, okay? No markings. Very good. Spine's intact. Oh yeah, Stephen King, Misery. I've never read a Stephen King novel. And that same YouTuber, God, I should have looked up her name. Loves Stephen King, so I decided to get it. This condition was acceptable, and it is definitely acceptable. I love a good used book. This is why I buy from used bookstores. Like, this makes me happy. This is smells old, but not like cat piss. So I can get behind this smell. It's great. It's great. But I'm not a huge fan of like sci-fi situations. Not sci-fi. How would I word it? Like Pet Sematary is not my vibe, but I will eventually probably read it. I don't know. I thought this was a good place to start because there's no mythical. No. I don't know the word. My dad said it earlier today and I can't think of it. There's just no, it's real. This could actually happen, which I don't know if that's actually good. I probably should have got a book that I was like, that can't happen, because I'm pretty sure it's genuinely scary. I thought I was getting another Amazon package, but I'm not. Sad. Okay. Totally acceptable condition, and I only paid $3.99. I'm so excited. I also love this shape of book. It makes me feel like an adult, which is stupid, but it just does. This book, it's been on my Goodreads since 2015. That's where I'm at with that. It's called Let's Pretend This Never Happened, a mostly true memoir by Jenny Lawson. My dad, I was telling him about it and I was like, I'm so excited. And he's like, I've read that. Once again, my dad's read a lot of books. This condition was good. It's hella good. Hella good. I'm not mad at it. I'm really excited about it. Her dad's a taxidermist. My great grandpa was one, so I think there's a connection. Probably not, but I think there is one. That's all the books that I purchased as of late, and the one from Costco was a while ago, but I still wanted to throw it in. And obviously I borrowed 2 from my dad, but I still wanted to throw it in. So I'm really excited to get started reading it. It's going to take me a million years to read all those books. My goal was only 15 books this year, and I have read 3 books hard copy and 2 audiobooks. I don't know if you count audiobooks. I do. I mean, I don't know. I'm conflicted, but I do count them. I'm just going to put it that way. So I've read 5 books out of 15, which is pretty good. Once I graduate, I'm definitely just going to be hitting it. So I'm excited to see where this takes me. I hope that I can finish them all this year. That would be actually spectacular, because that's quite a few books. But I appreciate you watching. I'm going to make some more book content about kind of what I'm reading, how I feel about it, how it's vibing with my life. Quarantine's got me going a little bit crazy. Clearly, I went on camera looking like this, so I'm clinically insane. And I'm also just like, you're just perched up in my window on my iPhone. Not in a great headspace, but I think it's important to show that quarantine doesn't have to be productive. I'm wearing sweatpants that I haven't seen a washer in a really, really long time, and I'm sweating bullets. All I have going for me right now is that I think my lettuce is actually gonna grow. So pretty sad, but I don't care. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's my life. Welcome to it. This is just going to be a channel where I put things out that literally nobody asks for, but maybe you need. So stay tuned. Get ready for a really, really weird ride.